Hello students, welcome you all to my English class. Today we are going to see about a supplementary, the three questions. Do you have any idea about this topic? Okay, let's move on to the supplementary. The three questions was written by Leo Tolstoy. He was the author of the short story, The Three Questions. Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy was born on 9th September 1928. He was a Russian author. The Tolstoys were a well-known family of old Russian nobility. Let's move on to the story. There was a king who had three questions in his mind, that if he always knew the right time to begin everything, if he knew who were the right people to listen to, and whom to avoid, and above all, if he always knew what was the most important things to do, he would never fail in anything he might undertake. So, once upon a time, there was a king who had three questions in his mind. They were, if he knew the right time to begin everything. The second one is, if he knew who were the right people to listen to. And the third one is, whom to avoid if he always knew what was the most important things to do. And this thought having occurred to him, he had it proclaimed throughout his kingdom that he would give a great reward to anyone who would teach him what was the right time for every action, and who were the most necessary people, and how he might know what was the most important thing to do. And learned men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. So he had proclaimed this throughout the kingdom. Proclaim means announced. He announced that he would give reward to anyone who could answer for the question. Many learned people assembled before the kingdom and answer differently. Then, in reply to the first question, some said that to know the right time for every action, one must draw up in advance a table of days, months, and years, and must live strictly according to it. Only thus said they could everything be done at its proper time. Others declared that it was impossible to decide beforehand the right time for every action, but that not letting oneself be absorbed in idle pastime. One should always attend to all that was going on and then do what was most needful. Others again said that, however attentive the king might be to what was going on, it was impossible for man to decide correctly the right time for every action, but that he should have counsel for wise men who would help him to fix the proper time for everything. So, some replied to the first question. Some said that the right time for every action is one should draw a timetable of months and years, and also they had to be very careful to follow it. Then only everything would be done on a correct time. But some opposed that it was impossible. If they decide everything before the right time of every action, he should decide everything on a right time. And others said that it was impossible for a man to decide everything on a right time. So he should get advice from a wise man for the suitable time. Next one. But then again said there were some things which could not wait to be laid before a council, but about which one had advanced to decide whether to undertake them or not. But in order to decide that, one must know beforehand what was going to happen. It is only a magician who knows that, and therefore, in order to know the right time for every action, one must consult the magician. So here, then again, some others said that they could not wait for the council, so they should know before what was going to happen. Magician only know that beforehand. So, in order to know the right time for every action, one should consult magician. Next one. Equally various were the answer to the second question. Some said the king most needed were his counselors, others the priest, others the doctors, while some said the warriors were the most necessary. So, for the second question, various answers were given. Some said that kings needed mostly his counselors, the others the priest, others the doctors, and others the warriors. Here warriors means serviceman. To the third question, as to what was the most important occupation, some replied that the most important thing in the world was science. Others said it was skill in warfare, and others again that it was religious worship. So, for the third question, some replied that it was science, and others said that it was skill warfare, and others said that it was religious worship. Here, underline the word religious worship and write reverence offered a divine. All the answers being different, the king agreed with none of them and gave the reward to none, but still wishing to find the right answers to his questions. He decided to consult a hermit, widely renowned for his wisdom. The hermit lived in a wood which he never quitted, and he received none but common folk. So the king put on simple clothes and, before reaching the hermit's cell, dismounted from his horse, leaving his bodyguard behind. He went on alone. So all the answers were different. So the king refused to accept the answers and did not give rewards to anyone. But still, he wanted to find the right answer for the three questions. Finally, he decided to consult a hermit. Hermit, underline the word hermit and write. Person lives alone with religious discipline. He is a hermit. So he decided to consult a hermit who was famous for his wisdom. Wisdom means knowledge. The hermit lived in a woods which he never left. He did not deceive anyone. He only talked with ordinary people. So the king disguised himself as an ordinary man and reached the hermit's place, where he left his bodyguard behind and went alone. With this, we have completed part 1 of this short story. For your assignment, do you ever have unsolved questions in your mind? And what are the 3 questions? Students, please write it on your note and discuss about it with your friends. Students, hope you all have understood this short story. We shall see the part 2 in our next class. Thank you for your kind cooperation, my dear students. Please go through this story again. Thank you.